Imagine staring into a mirror that doesn't just reflect light, but time itself. Not your face, not your present, but the raw beginnings of everything. A time when existence had barely taken its first breath. That's what the James Webb Space Telescope was designed to do. To peer into the deepest, darkest corners of the cosmos and reveal our origins. But what it found wasn't the infancy of the universe. It wasn't a cradle of chaos or a simple beginning. It was a contradiction. A fully formed galaxy in a time when galaxies weren't supposed to exist. A mature, spinning, gravitationally stable system of stars, complete with spiral arms, star clusters, and a monstrous black hole at its heart, appearing only a few 100 million years after the Big Bang. This discovery didn't just raise eyebrows. It shattered the foundations of modern cosmology. Scientists have long believed they understood the universe's timeline, the Big Bang, followed by darkness, then the slow emergence of matter, stars, galaxies, and eventually life. The further back you look, the simpler things should get: hydrogen clouds, scattered radiation, primitive chaos. But when Webb pointed its golden mirrors at a seemingly empty patch of sky, it saw something that shouldn't have been there. Not one anomaly, but many. Galaxy after galaxy, fully formed and structurally complex, emerged from the shadows of deep time. The cosmic clock, it seemed, was broken. These weren't blurry smudges. These were elegant, rotating, star-filled cities of light, shining from a time when the laws of astrophysics said they shouldn't even be possible. It was like opening a history book to the first chapter and finding skyscrapers already built, civilizations already in motion, and a timeline that had somehow skipped billions of years. As the data rolled in, things only got stranger. The spectral fingerprints of these galaxies, light broken into its elemental components, revealed something even more disturbing. Oxygen, carbon, iron. These elements don't just appear. They are forged in the hearts of stars and scattered through space only when those stars die in supernova explosions. To find them this early meant that stars had already formed, died, and been replaced. More than once. The early universe, it seemed, wasn't crawling toward complexity. It was sprinting. And these elements aren't just the building blocks of stars. They're the foundation of planets, atmospheres, life. To find them in such abundance, so soon after the supposed beginning of time, is like discovering a coral reef thriving inside a volcano that erupted yesterday. The timelines don't feel rushed, they feel fundamentally wrong. And then came the most mind-bending discovery of all. At the heart of one of these impossibly ancient galaxies was a black hole. Not a baby, not even a teenager. A supermassive black hole, over 1 billion times the mass of our Sun. By any known theory, this couldn't happen. Black holes grow slowly, over eons. Yet there it was, already colossal, already dominant. It didn't grow. It was born this way. This left scientists with only radical options. Primordial black holes formed directly from dense quantum fluctuations in the early universe, or unknown forces like dark matter accelerating growth in ways we don't understand. These ideas aren't tweaks to existing models. They are revolutions, new blueprints for how reality itself might work. And then came the patterns. As astronomers processed the data, artificial intelligence and deep learning algorithms noticed something even more unnerving. The arrangement of galaxies wasn't random. They followed a mathematical harmony, a recurring ratio strikingly similar to the golden spiral. Across billions of light years, from one corner of the cosmos to another, the universe appeared to be aligned. Not chaos, not coincidence. Design. Spiral arms. Rotational symmetry. Gravitational distances. Webb's ultra-precise imaging revealed an underlying geometry that whispered of a fractal intelligence, patterns repeating across scale, like cosmic fingerprints. But fingerprints of what? A deeper law? A hidden code beneath physics? Or something more disturbing, intentionality embedded in spacetime itself? And just when it seemed nothing more could surprise us, Webb focused on a region of deep interstellar void. A place assumed to be empty, sterile, cold. And there it found something even more haunting. Complex organic molecules. Polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, the very precursors to amino acids, the ingredients for life. Floating in the vacuum of space, unattached to stars, drifting intact across This wasn't biology as we know it. This was chemistry waiting for a home. Life not as an accident, but as a constant. A feature, not a miracle. If these molecules have been present since the beginning, then life may be not just likely, but inevitable. And then Webb saw something else. Something no one could explain away. A formation deep in the high redshift sky. 6 galaxies arranged in perfect symmetry around a central object, spaced evenly, orbiting with mathematical precision. Scientists called it the flower. And no matter how they modeled it, no natural explanation held. It wasn't random. It was architectural. Some blamed gravitational lensing. Others suggested echoes of quantum turbulence. But a few dared ask the real question: what if it was placed there? What if this wasn't nature's chaos, but a signpost, meant to be seen? And finally, the most unsettling theory of all. The observer effect. In quantum physics, it's the idea that the act of observation changes the outcome. But what if that principle scales up? What if the universe, on some vast and ancient level, is responsive to attention? What if building Webb and pointing it into the beginning didn't just reveal the past? What if it woke something up? Some physicists now believe certain patterns in Webb's images shift subtly depending on when and how they're analyzed. Data that behaves differently under scrutiny. Images that seem to evolve after they've been captured. As if the universe isn't just being seen, it's seeing us. What the James Webb Space Telescope uncovered wasn't just the history of stars and galaxies. It was a message. A truth too massive, too elegant, too ancient to fit inside our current understanding. It wasn't just about matter and light. It was about memory. A memory so deep and so old that it may have been waiting for us. Galaxies that shouldn't exist. Chemistry that came too soon. Patterns too precise. Lights too aware. Maybe we didn't find the edge of the universe. Maybe we found its consciousness. So now the question isn't what did Webb see? It's, what saw Webb? If this shook your sense of reality, if the patterns felt too sharp, the revelations too perfect, you're not alone. Subscribe, because what comes next could change everything. Turn on notifications, because the next signal may already be on its way. And tell us what you believe. Are we discovering the universe? Or is the universe finally revealing itself, because it knows we're watching? Share this with someone who still believes the cosmos is silent. Because after